truck was actually coming from Ring Road. It missed a step. So as it was trying to gather itself, it fell.
What we are witnessing these days, it is something we can no longer understand.
They should stop telling us and promising us all those promises are fake, giving us details of promises are fake. We don't want it anymore.
A pleasant evening to you and many thanks for joining us on Beetv Major News at 6, coming to you live from Benin City, the Edo State capital. I am Evelyn Zibili, and now the news in details. Following the successful conduct of the All Progressive Congress APC local government area and state congress, the party has officially sworn in its newly elected state executives at the APC secretariat located at number 20 Ikpopan Road off Boundary Road in Benin City. Beetv News Temitope Oluwafemi reports that the swearing-in ceremony witnessed a large attendance from not just executives but party members.
The swearing-in ceremony attracted party leaders and members, including newly elected state executives, local government area chairmen, and other party officials who gathered at the party secretariat to witness the formal inauguration of the new leadership. At the ceremony, the Solicitor General of Edo State, Barrister Steve Okoro, administered the oath of office to the newly elected state chairman of the party, Emperor Jared Tenebe. Following his swearing-in, Emperor Jared Tenebe in turn administered the oath of office to other state executives of the party. Those sworn in include the Deputy State Chairman of the party, Honorable Sylvester Agbobo, the State Secretary, Engineer Lawrence Oka, the Assistant State Secretary, Honorable Sam Obo, and the State Woman Leader, Mrs. Betty Benson. Also sworn in were local government area chairmen and other party executives who assumed their respective offices during the ceremony.
Jared Tenebe, do solemnly swear that I shall be faithful and bear true allegiance to all progressive Congress, that as chairman of all progressive Congress, I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability as of all progressive Congress. I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully, and in accordance with the Constitution.
Speaking during the swearing-in ceremony, the APC State Chairman, Emperor Jared Tenebe, welcomed members of the State Working Committee, party executives, and members, noting that the inauguration formally ushers in the new leadership of the party in the state. He described the newly elected executives as trusted and experienced individuals who are committed to advancing the progress of the party. Emperor Tenebe emphasized that the party remains committed to the Shine agenda of the state government, adding that the principles of internal democracy will continue to guide the party's activities. According to him, the increasing number of defections into the party demonstrates the confidence people have in APC. He further noted that the promises made by the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, at the federal level aligns with the Shine agenda of Governor Monday Okpebholo in Edo State. The chairman expressed confidence that the party can achieve the target of delivering 2.5 million votes for the president, while appreciating members for their unwavering support. He also commended the contributions of youth and women in strengthening the party and acknowledged the media for their role in providing credible reportage.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to the party secretariat on this momentous occasion marking the inauguration of the State Executive Council of our great party, following their unanimous election a few days ago. This exercise is in full compliance with the democratic ideal deeply entrenched in the constitution and tradition of our party. Today's inauguration formally ushered in a team of committed party leaders who will serve as the driving forces and the think tank of our administration over the next 4 years.
Also speaking, the Deputy State Chairman of the party, Honorable Sylvester Agbobo, expressed satisfaction with the leadership of the state chairman, assuring him of the loyalty and support of party executives at all times. He added that the governor's promise of delivering 2.5 million votes for the president can only be achieved through effective sensitization at the ward and local government levels on the achievements of both the president and the state governor.
I want to sincerely thank you for your leadership, and we assure you that call us any day, anytime, we will be loyal to this party. We have a mandate, we have a job ahead of us. Our working governor, our performing governor, are promising the president 2.5 million votes. It will go back to our various wards, our various local government, take the message of the president and his governor to the grassroots.
In his remarks, the State Secretary of the party, Engineer Lawrence Oka, expressed appreciation to the chairman, deputy chairman, and other party executives. He thanked God for the progress the party has recorded so far. In an interview, the newly sworn-in APC local government chairman of Owan West, Honorable Frank David, thanked God for the progress and growth of the party in Owan West local government area, expressing optimism that the new leadership will further strengthen the party's presence in the area.
Thank God when I came on board and there was no APC. It was completely down. And God gave us the admonition that we shall rebuild our party. Take it from Nehemiah. And we did. And today, APC in Owan West is everybody are trooping into APC today. And we have really developed APC, and I believe we will do more.
The ceremony ended with group photographs and renewed determination to consolidate the party's strength ahead of future electoral engagements. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for Beetv News.
The executive chairman of Oredo Local Government Council, Honorable Engineer Gabriel Iduseri, has presented a budget proposal of over 14 billion naira, tagged Budget of Consolidation and Sustainability Development, to the local government's legislative arm for consideration.
Presenting the 2026 budget at the Council Secretariat in Benin City, the Oredo Local Government Council boss, Honorable Gabriel Iduseri, noted that the budget is designed to accelerate grassroots development across all wards in Oredo Local Government area. According to him, 6,772,250,000 naira is earmarked for capital expenditure, representing a strong commitment to infrastructure development and people-oriented projects. Speaking on recurrent expenditure, which has a total of 8 billion, the council boss noted that it was carefully structured to maintain administrative efficiency, enhance staff welfare, and guarantee uninterrupted service delivery to the good people of Oredo, thereby ensuring the smooth running of governments, payment of salary, pension, and effective delivery of essential services. Speaking further, Honorable Iduseri declared that the 2026 budget aligns seamlessly with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Project Shine agenda of His Excellency Senator Mondo Gbawolo, adding that the capital component of the project is focused on critical sectors such as road rehabilitation, market development, strengthening primary healthcare, environmental sanitation, agriculture support programs, youth empowerment initiatives, and improved security architects within the various communities in Oredo.
This budget is titled Consolidation and Sustainable Development. It is carefully designed to consolidate on our achievement and accelerate grassroots development across all wards in our local government. For the 2026 fiscal year, we are presenting a total budget of 14 billion 843 million 269,405 naira 77 kobo. And out of this total...
Speaking in an interview, Honorable Engineer Gabriel Iduseri referenced his administration's resolve to deliver the dividends of democracy to the good people of Oredo by ensuring that every kobo collected at the budget is judiciously utilized for the collective good of the good people of Oredo across the world.
Continue to align our developmental priorities with the vision of Edo State government under the leadership of His Excellency Senator Monday Okpewolo, ensuring that our policies and programs complement the broader developmental agenda of our dear state.
On his part, the leader of the legislative arm, Honorable Reliance Okumbowa, commended the chairman for the developmental strides being witnessed in the local government area. He assured the chairman that the House will give the budget a speedy passage. High point of the occasion was the presentation of the 2026 appropriation budget to the leader of the legislative arm, Right Honorable Reliance Okumbowa, tagged Budget of Consolidation and Sustainable Development.
We are very much involved, as I said earlier, for the shine agenda of the governor to be extended to Oredo. I'm sure we're not going to waste time at looking at the merits of this budget and giving it its speedy attention and passage.
Present at the budget presentation were retired General Charles Ariawere, Honorable Osaro Obase, former Oredo Council Chairman, Mr. Osamudiame Osarenkwe, local government chairman, party leaders, ward chairman, and all the stakeholders across the local government. Meanwhile, party leaders in the local government, led by retired General Charles Ariawere, commended the executive chairman, Honorable Engineer Gabriel Idusari, for his developmental strides spread across the length and breadth of the local government.
Care of the youth, the women empowerment, infrastructural developments, road rehabilitation, schools rehabilitations, and a lot of other things that have to align with the potential agenda of Mr. Governor. And I can assure you that working with Mr. Governor and the members of the local government, we are going to achieve all that have been put into this budget. At the time we came on board, we formed a committee who was to go around all the wards, because the wards makes up the local government. And we were able to draw out what we call the Blueprint Committee. And it is the report of the Blueprint Committee that formed this budget. So practically it means that what we have drawn in this budget is what the people want.
What we are seeing today in Oredo local government is a new world, keying into the world order, going digital, going cashless, and making sure that the people of the grassroots don't suffer.
Recurrent expenditures basically for human capital, and it goes to show the kind of person he is. We have always craved for a compassionate leader, and today we are having one in our presence and in our midst who is ready to listen and adhere strictly to instructions that will develop our people.
They assured him of their unflinching support in his quest to take Oredo local governments to greater heights. Feho Kolawole reporting for Beetv News.
The Edo State Commissioner for Environment and Sustainability, Honorable Nosa Adams, has ordered the sealing of several borough pits across parts of the state, following directives from the state governor over safety concerns. Beetv News' Daniel Shedrack reports that the order was carried out to ensure the safety of lives and properties of citizens in the affected areas. The report.
The borough pit is said to have posed serious risks to the safety of residents and their properties in Ikpobaoka and wounded local government areas of Edo State. The action followed a directive from the state governor after reports indicated that the activities of the borough pits were endangering the lives and properties of people living in the affected communities. The affected sites include Eranwo-Risa and Alaji Borough Pit, Sunshine Borough Pit, and CNG Borough Pit located in the Ikpobaoka local government area, as well as Morgano Sazua Borough Pit in Wonde local government area. Many houses were observed to be located close to the pits, raising serious safety concerns. With immediate effect, the Commissioner for Environment and Sustainability, Honorable Nosa Adams Esquire, ordered the sealing off of the borough pits and directed all workers at the site to stop operations and vacate the area, a directive that was promptly complied with. after the enforcement exercise, Honorable Nusa Adams emphasized that the state government would not tolerate activities that endanger public safety or violate environmental regulations. He reiterated the government's commitment to enforcing environmental laws, which he said led to the sealing off of the borough pits in the affected areas.
Well, we just discovered that substantially there is a serious environmental issues here, and it's a big challenge, and we cannot allow the persistence of this very serious environmental degradation. If you look at it, you can zoom it, you can see houses. You can see houses. We cannot, as a responsible government, we cannot allow them to continue to degrade the environment this much. We cannot allow it. The one at Umelu, the borough pit at Wolegu, and the one at Ayama, you know, they are all together. And they are all close to residential buildings. So we cannot allow it to continue. The three that are working closely to each other have been closed down. The government cannot allow them to continue.
However, one of the residents and victims from Wunde local government area, while speaking with BTV News, bitterly complained about how the activities of the Morgan Usazua Borough Pit operators had affected the community. He said his landed property and some buildings were lost due to the continuous excavations at the Morgan Usazua Borough. According to him, the community had reported the issue several times to government authorities, but received no response until the matter was escalated to the Ministry of Environment.
We bought this land more than, 15 years ago. So right from that time now, they have been digging. We sent to the Ewen. He said no problem, that we settle with them. Since that time, they said they will settle, but they are digging. Till we go, that's Okwaya police station. From Okwaya, we go area command. From area command, we go state CID. All we walk around. They say they will stop. They're not going to stop. Even as I'm present now, my house now there for 4. All the building, both my sister own, both my own, all don't fall inside pit. Even that land where we still buy, 200 by 200, it don't fall for inside pit. No one remain. It's only that 50 by 100 where we build. Now it remain for there. This morning, they're still working. They work this morning before they come out. So that's why the community say we should cry to the Ministry of Environment. So we are there day before today. They promised us that will come today. So by God's grace, they are here with us.
The Edo State government says it remains committed to protecting the environment and ensuring that all excavation activities are properly regulated for the safety of citizens. Temitope Oluwafemi reporting for BTV News.
The governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, has declared that the over 2.5 million votes expected from the state in support of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the forthcoming elections are already secured, describing them as a fixed deposit that remains non-negotiable. Governor Okpebholo made the statement while receiving a delegation of a support group at his country home in Irua, Asa Central Local Government Area. The report.
The group had visited the governor to present visibility and publicity materials, including branded wrappers, shirts, and other items, as part of efforts to mobilize grassroots support for the re-election of President Tinubu. Commending the initiative, the governor praised the group's commitment and noted that their gestures reflected growing appreciation among Edo residents for the policies and programs of the federal government. He stressed that such voluntary contributions demonstrate confidence in the leadership of President Tinubu.
Brother here who is donating it to support our president because he is happy with what the president has done for Edo people, especially Esa extraction.
The governor added that the gestures reinforces the political resolve of the people of Edo State ahead of the elections. He said Edo 2.5 million votes are already in a fixed deposit and it is not negotiable. He said the president will also be informed about this. Show of support.
They are already making contribution to support him. That means our 2.5 million vote is not negotiable. We are happy to receive this, and I believe that the president will hear of it. We are so grateful, and Thank you very much.
The initiator of the project, Engineer Wadialo Ziubi, told journalists that the donation was inspired by the developmental strides of the governor in Edo State. He added that more campaign materials will be provided in the coming months. He said it is a strategic show of support for the 2027 presidential election through the amiable governor of Edo State, Senator Mondo Pebolo.
Stability materials to support the government. Because when the government is performing, all you need to do is to support that government to continue in power so that more development can come to the citizens. That is why we are here. We have thousands of them that we are producing. More of it are coming to make sure that during the campaign, as the campaign is taking off, they have more of it on ground.
The donated visibility materials include T-shirts, face caps, and vests, all customized with the party's logo. Zainab Mohammed reporting for BTV News.
Benin City residents are calling on the Edo State government and relevant local authorities to prioritize the installation of proper street signage across the metropolis, citing growing challenges in navigation, security, and emergency response. Beetv News' Daniel Shedra gathered that many streets across Benin lack nameplates, while others have faded or damaged signs that are barely visible to motorists and pedestrians. The reports. The absence of clear street identification has created difficulties for visitors, commercial drivers, delivery services, and even security operatives. It was observed that dispatch riders and ride-hailing drivers often spend extra time locating addresses, resulting in delays and increased transport fares. Observers note that as Benin City, Edo State, continues to expand in population and infrastructure, the installation of standardized and durable street signage should be treated as a priority by local government authorities. Speaking with Beetv News, some residents described the situation as unfortunate, stating that many citizens and visitors still lose their way due to the lack of proper street signage. They urge state and local authorities to address the urgent need for street nameplate installation in the city.
We need to provide not only the government, the local government or state government or whatever to look into it, because things like that are making people not to understand the view of the street where you are entering. You may miss roads, you may lost on your way going. So we need all those things to live intact and put it into consideration so that the people will not miss, even the strangers that are coming, they will not miss their.
It is necessary that all those streets must have their name, especially when strangers are coming, so that they will know exactly they are going to. And even in developed countries, all their streets they have names. So it is very important and mandatory for all streets to have name, so that will less the movement or of where anybody is going to, and it is compulsory. And I will use this medium to tell the government that they should do something good and better about this, so that all streets will have their own name.
One of the residents also described Benin City as a central hub that attracts strangers and visitors from different parts of the country. He appealed to the government to urgently install proper street signage to help visitors navigate the city with ease.
There's an urgency for street, street signs in the Benin metropolis. Number one, because if you look at Benin City, it's a centralized state among the 36 states of the Federation. Understand? You have people coming from the north traveling through Benin. You have people coming from the south traveling through Benin. You have people from the west and even the east traveling through Benin City. So it will be a very important thing if the government can put street street signs on various locations in Benin City, mostly in the Ring Road area, to aid those who are traveling into the state from other states to at least gain access the location they are traveling to. If the government sees it as not important or is something that they cannot really do, they can give it to a private firm, maybe an NGO or whatever, who will be in charge of this thing in the maintenance and all that. So it will go a very long way to help people traveling to the state and out of the state. It's a very good move.
As Benin City continues to grow, proper street identification remains vital for structural development, safety, and efficient service delivery. Evelyn Isabelle reporting for BTV News. Child exploitation is becoming rampant as the rate of which children are forced into labor at an early age has become a major concern in Nigeria, as residents identified several critical areas where forced labor negatively impacts children. BTV News' Kate Owarido reports that residents has highlighted the danger of child exploitation.
Children in Nigeria are increasingly being exploited by some parents and guardians due to the country's difficult economic situation. Residents have expressed concern over the issue of children being forced into labor at an early age, noting that it deprives them of their childhood and limits their access to education and proper development. Residents who spoke on the issue explained that when children are forced to work instead of going to school, it affects their education and overall development. According to them, such children grow up without proper learning and awareness of their rights, making it difficult for them to contribute meaningfully to society. They also noted that early exposure to labor may negatively influence a child's behavior, as the lack of proper guidance and education can make it difficult for them to distinguish between right and wrong. Residents added that this situation often leaves many children ignorant of important life values and responsibilities.
I think it's stealing from their childhood, because due to the economics, the country's economy, they are supposed to be studying. Asking a child of 4 years or 5 years to go and be buying, selling pure water and all that, it's not educating the child. So definitely, the child must be going to school, you train the child up so that he will know what to do with his future. Like now, selling pure water and doing that, he don't even know anything about his future. So definitely, he needs to study to know more about his future.
Still speaking, respondents emphasize that when children are pushed into labor at a very young age, instead of being in school, many of them end up roaming the streets during school hours, which can cause inconveniences to members of the public. They explain that keeping children away from education not only affects their personal development, but also exposes them to negative influence within society. According to them, when children are denied proper education and guidance, they may become vulnerable to engaging in various social vices and harmful activities, which could ultimately affect both their future and the well-being of the society. Residents therefore stress the importance of prioritizing education and protecting children from being forced into labor at an early age.
For a young child that is supposed to be in school, it has really have a very bad impact on them, because we can say in government school now, they have free education mostly. And these children have the right to go to school, and the parents, they are depriving them of it. So it has really affect them badly, most especially when they start involving themselves in bad things like courtesan, stealing, and other things that are relating to bad influence in the country. So
residents further urge parents and guardians to prioritize education and protection of their children from being forced into labor at an early age. Kate Owarido reporting for BTV News.
Troops of the 4th Brigade under the 2nd Division of the Nigerian Army, working with the Edo State Security Corps, have neutralized a notorious kidnapper, rescued 4 abducted victims, and arrested a suspected kidnapper during separate security operations in Edo State. The operation carried out under Operation Igbo Danu 1 on March 3, 2026, took place in Warake Forest in Auchi local government area. Troops on 9th Patrol responded to gunshots in the areas and engaged suspected kidnappers, neutralizing one of the criminals while others fled into the forest. 4 victims, Stella Abbas, 29, Tina Ododa, 19, Razak Rashid, 27, and Mutani B. Khalifa, 16, were rescued unhurt and later reunited with their families. Recovered items included 650,000 naira in cash, footwear, a power bank, and mobile phones. In a separate raid the same day in Ujeme, a Southwest local government area, troops arrested a 39-year-old suspect, Omogbega Solomon, at a house believed to be a kidnapper's hideout. A shrine containing charms and photographs was also discovered and destroyed at the scene. The suspect has been handed over to the Nigeria Police Force, Ekpoma Division, while the commander of the 4th Brigade, Brigadier General Ahmed Balogun, commended the troops and reaffirmed the military's commitment to protecting lives and property in Edo State. The Federal High Court in Abuja has discharged and acquitted suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abbas Kwari of a 23-count charge of alleged non-declaration of assets. The case was filed against him by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Abakwari was charged alongside his two brothers who were accused of swearing a false affidavit to conceal the origin of certain properties. In its judgment, Justice James Omotosho held that the NDLEA failed to provide sufficient evidence to prove the case, which largely involved non-declaration of land properties. The court noted that ownership of land can be proven through traditional history, title documents, acts of possession, or possession by connection. The prosecution did not provide any documentation to show that the properties in Fountain Estates, Kasana, purportedly belonging to Ramatu Kwari, were in fact owned by Abba Kwari. The federal government has officially banned the collection of taxes in cash and prohibited the use of roadblocks for revenue enforcement across the country. The move is part of efforts to implement Nigeria's new tax laws and reform tax administration. The announcement was made by the Executive Secretary of the Joint Tax Board during the signing ceremony of the Presumptive Tax Regulations and Guidelines for the implementation of the new tax framework in Abuja. According to him, the new framework is designed to eliminate informal, forceful, and fragmented tax practices, particularly at the subnational level. He added that the regulations aim to promote transparency, accountability, and fairness in tax administration, especially within the commercial and informal sectors.
aim is to ensure consistency, prevent arbitrary assessments, best of judgment, and so on and so forth, and to protect small businesses while ensuring the continuous growth of the Nigerian economy as we have been experiencing in the last 2 quarters, and in particular, the last quarter of 2025, the growth rate was above 4%.
All forms of cash collected by tax authorities. It also bans mounting of roadblocks. It encourages formalization of the informal sector.
The Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Rilwan Disu, has inaugurated an 8-member committee to examine issues surrounding state policy in Nigeria. The development came during his first formal meeting with senior police officers after his confirmation at the 23rd Indigenous Inspector General of Police. The report.
The meeting followed the approval of his appointment by the Nigerian Police Council, which unanimously ratified his nomination before he was sworn in by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Speaking at the meeting, the IGP emphasized that leadership is not about position, but responsibility. He noted that the newly inaugurated committee would help provide recommendations on state policing as part of broader efforts to strengthen security and policing across the country.
Our authorities derive not from merely status, but from public trust. Once that trust is weakened, our effectiveness is diminished. Under my leadership, professionalism, accountability, and transparency shall not be a slogan. It shall be a standard. We must be clear-eyed about our realities in an era of heightened public scrutiny and instant communication. Every action of the police reflects instantly on the entire police force.
Olatunji Rilwan Disu emphasized that authority within the police force must be exercised with restraint and responsibility. He noted that effective leadership in policing is not only about power, but also about accountability and discipline in carrying out official duties. The police chief added that respect for human rights remains fundamental to policing, stressing that officers must always uphold the rights and dignity of citizens while enforcing the law.
The Nigerian police force is, first and foremost, the people's police, and our continued relevance depends on the confidence the public places in us.
The initiative aligns with the push by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to establish state policing as part of broader efforts to strengthen security and improve law enforcement across the country. The committee is expected to examine the framework and provide recommendations that will guide the effective implementation of state policing nationwide.
Your task is critical. We want you to review the policing framework, assess the feasibility, and propose implementation strategies. Focus on structure, funding, training, and accountability. Your recommendations will shape Nigeria's security landscape.
With this development, attention has shifted to the federal government's efforts to establish state policing structures. Naomi Ewere reporting from Beetv News.
The federal government has intensified efforts to tackle underage drinking through a renewed nationwide campaign targeting the sale of alcohol in sachets and small bottles. The initiative, led by the National Alcoholic Drinks Control Agency in collaboration with the National Orientation Agency, aims to curb rising alcohol abuse among young Nigerians. The report.
At a joint press briefing, the Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, expressed concern over increasing access to alcohol by minors, particularly through sachets and small bottles. She revealed that over half of underage consumers purchase alcohol themselves, with data showing that 24% drink daily.
Professor Mojisola Adeyeye highlighted that binge drinking is especially prevalent in Gombe, the Federal Capital Territory, and Anambra State. She emphasized that restricting the availability of smaller alcohol packs is a critical step in reducing underage consumption and promoting safer drinking practices among youths.
What is the impact on health? Why are we so concerned in NAFDA? Because our mandate is to ensure that we protect the health of our people, including children. Impact on health, brain development. Alcohol can damage the hippocampus, memory center in the brain.
The Director General of the National Orientation Agency, Larry Isa Onilu, said the campaign against underage drinking will focus not only on enforcement, but also on changing societal attitudes. With a presence in all 774 local government areas, the agency plans to engage communities, schools, market associations, and transport unions to promote awareness and ensure compliance with regulations. Isa Onulu emphasized that community participation is key to reducing underage alcohol consumption and fostering a culture of responsible drinking among youths nationwide.
Early exposure to alcohol significantly increases the risk of addiction and long-term dependency. It undermines educational attainment. It contributes to domestic instability and violence.
The ban on alcoholic beverages in bottles smaller than 200 millimeters took effect on January 1, 2026, following resolutions by the Nigerian Senate calling for stricter regulations on alcohol sales. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has assured that enforcement of the ban will be sustained across the country to ensure full compliance.
So when they have in place an extant regulation, we enforce them. We also are empowered to enforce all consumer protection enactments across the economy.
Authorities are urging parents, community leaders, and retailers to support the nationwide initiative against underage drinking. Officials emphasize that curbing alcohol consumption among minors is essential for building a healthier, safer, and more productive society. Naomi Ewere reporting from Beetv News.
The Akwa Ibom State government has reported that more than 1,100 surgeries have been performed under its state health insurance scheme as part of its latest performance updates. At a media briefing in Uyo, officials revealed that 179,000 residents are now enrolled in the program. The Commissioner for Health described the initiative as evidence of the government's commitment to expanding access to health care. Other cabinet members presented performance scorecards covering finance, infrastructure, and social welfare. In addition, the government announced it has cleared nearly 40 billion naira in inherited commercial bank debts and has paid down a significant portion of pension arrears, highlighting efforts to stabilize the state's financial obligations.
Articulated a clear developmental pathway through the Arise agenda, but has pursued it with courage, compassion, and measurable results across key sectors of the development of Akwa Ibom State.
Any time from now is going to exit the backlog, and like highlighted by the Commissioner for Information, we are going to take it by the time the balance is exited. We will now be taking it on the month-by-month basis.
For the first time after 21 years, we've resumed pharmacy internship. And so the pharmacy interns would be pharmacy interns. I've also picked up
Residents are calling on the government to take urgent action over the growing problem of harmful gas emissions from vehicles. They say that poor regulation, weak enforcement of laws and inadequate vehicles inspections are contributing to environmental pollution and putting public safety at risk. Residents who emphasize the need for stricter government oversight, proper vehicle inspection and stronger enforcement of laws to reduce air pollution. The reports. The gas fumes coming out of vehicles are causing serious concern among residents due to their harmful effects to the environment. These emissions contribute to air pollution, respiratory illnesses and environmental degradation, while poorly maintained vehicles increase the risk of accidents. Citizens are urging the government to enforce stricter regulations, carry out proper vehicle inspections and ensure that only roadworthy vehicles are allowed on the streets to protect public health and safety. Speaking with newsmen, a pharmacist, Mr. Osadebame Enabulele, emphasized the urgent need for stricter government oversight of commercial drivers and their vehicles. According to him, many drivers operate without adequate regulation, largely because there are no properly enforced law in place. He stressed that the government should ensure vehicles are thoroughly inspected and licensed before being allowed on the roads.
Friendly to the government that is the cause of it. They are the one that gave them the license by collecting tax from them without regulating the type of vehicle they are approved to run transport business in our streets. When you look at most of these buses, they don't care what they are using. All they are after is the money. But when government come that yes, this is the type of buses they want, and Ministry for Environment, they are out to make sure that these buses that government wants is what is operating on the ground, not the one with the toxic gas that's destroying the ozone layer or polluting the environment. The government started, the people will follow. So as long as the government is not giving the people what they want, the people will never want to abide to any law. Because the people believe they are facing the highest hardship in life and the government are busy embezzling the money. So they will not want to take any law into their hands. They are out of the law. Let the government start it. When the government started, the people will follow.
Similarly, an artist, Mr. Brenda Zibiri, addressed the issue of air pollution caused by vehicle emissions. He explained that the release of harmful gas fumes into the atmosphere is not entirely the fault of drivers. Instead, he attributed the problem to systemic issues, noting that many drivers rely on fairly used vehicles that tend to emit excessive fumes. He therefore called on the government to take responsibility by creating policies that address the root causes of the problem. In the same vein, an engineer, Mr. Maiwa Odubayo, pointed out that some vehicles currently in operation are not roadworthy and should not be driven on public streets. He expressed concern that regulatory authorities are failing to carry out proper inspections and insisted that vehicles must undergo thorough checks to ensure public safety. Also speaking, a builder, Mr. Emmanuel Alungai, urged the government to ensure stricter laws governing drivers and their vehicles. He maintained that firm regulations and consistent enforcement would help reduce accidents, environmental pollutions and other risks associated with poorly maintained vehicles.
They are not producing cars in this Nigeria. They have a fairly used cars and everybody is managing their car. So definitely, we have a mix or source of having new vehicles in Nigeria. I don't believe there will be any vehicle that is smoking or so. So it's for the government to make provision for the citizen so that they can able to afford new cars, so that there will not be such type of issues. Being the border is open, there would have the new vehicles in Nigeria. Since they cannot, there's no new vehicle in Nigeria. The one they have, they will manage it.
We inspect this office. Yes, as you know, VIO. Yes, and those are their works. Those are their functions, and not to just be on the way. I mean, on the highway, collecting money or looting from people. You understand? You are supposed to check if the vehicles are proper, sound to be on the road. You understand? So that's why I said the work is for the government to do.
Which bus drivers, as well as whatever truck drivers, they are outlaws. They don't abide to the rules. They don't abide to laws. Because why? The system is lawless. Not until our government begin to impose strict laws regulating these bodies, we will not get headway.
The concerns raised by residents highlight the urgent need for government intervention in regulating vehicles and curbing harmful gas emissions. Without stricter oversight, proper vehicle inspections and enforcement of existing laws, air pollution, health risks and road accidents are likely to persist. Evelyn Izibli reporting for Beetv News.
The firm's 2026 Economic Outlook report noted that the currency opened the year at around 1,541 naira per dollar in the official market and closed at about 1,435 naira by December 31st, 2025. The improvement also helped narrow the gap between the official and parallel foreign exchange markets. Analysts attributed the recovery to reforms introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria, including the launch of the Nigerian Foreign Exchange Code and the electronic foreign exchange matching system to improve transparency and interbank trading. Increased foreign exchange liquidity, higher external reserves, and renewed investor confidence also contributed to the currency's stability. The federal government says it is intensifying efforts to position Nigeria as a major industrial hub in Africa by unlocking the steel market estimated at $10 billion annually. The Minister of Steel Development, Shaibu Aldu, made the announcement at the Nigerian-German Economic Forum in Dortmund, Germany. According to the minister, the government is shifting its focus from exporting raw materials to building a value-adding industrial economy. He emphasized that Nigeria's large mineral deposits and expanding domestic demand offer a significant opportunity for long-term investors. Aldu explained that the initiative aligns with the economic agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu aimed at promoting sustainable industrial growth. He noted that Nigeria is seeking credible partners willing to invest capital, technology, and innovation to strengthen the country's steel and mineral sector. NIPCO Gas Limited has announced plans to build 20 additional compressed natural gas stations across Nigeria to expand gas utilization and support the country's clean energy transition. The company's managing director, Najidra Verma, revealed the plan during a media briefing in Lagos. He said the project is part of the company's strategy to align with the federal government's post-fuel subsidy reforms and efforts to promote cleaner energy alternatives. Verma added that the expansion also includes the construction of major compression hubs with CNG model stations in Lekki and Ore nearing completion. These facilities will supply gas to Delta stations and industrial users, improving access to affordable CNG for commercial vehicles, transport operators, and private motorists nationwide. Naomi Ewere reporting from Beetv News.
We'll take a quick short break and we'll be right back shortly. Please stay with us.
Remembrance, 365 days in mind. Death will never be an obstacle to our love for you, our dearest father, grandfather, great-grandfather, late Mr. Noruwa Lonsi Igbinidu, who died exactly 1 year ago. Dear Daddy, we love you, and it is the kind of love that binds us to each other in ways beyond our knowing. Today marks the anniversary of your liberation from the shackles of this world. Your physical body may fade, but your legacy will forever be in our hearts. You are greatly cherished and missed. As we remember our fondest memories of you, our dearest Daddy, even in grief, we are truly blessed to be loved by you. We miss gazing at you and listening to your wise counsel. We, your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, remember how selfless and loving you were to us and other people. Continue to rest until the resurrection morning, when we meet and part no more. Fondly remembered by your daughter, Mrs. Eunice Lawrence Oka.
Welcome back from that short break. Tim Walz told members of the United States House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform that federal actions targeting residents of Minnesota over fraud allegations in social welfare programs amount to political retaliation. The report.
Appearing before the committee in Washington, the Democratic governor argued that Minnesotans had been unfairly targeted by federal authorities investigating alleged fraud involving funds meant for social services and aid programs. Walz said the federal government's action were carried out under the guise of combating fraud, but in reality singled out the state for what he described as political retribution. Walz told lawmakers that a surge of federal enforcement agents and aggressive oversight actions had disrupted ongoing investigations in the state and created fear in communities. According to the governor, the federal measures including immigration enforcement and financial scrutiny tied to welfare programs had complicated the work of state authorities attempting to prosecute fraud cases.
Under the guise of combating fraud, the federal government has flooded Minnesota with masked, untrained, and unaccountable agents who are wreaking havoc in our communities.
The American taxpayers have had enough.
I think that's a fair characterization.
They want their taxpayer dollars spent wisely. We all support social programs.
That's not a fair
characterization. But if you're going to waste the money to fraudsters, then we have to stop and recalculate.
We're not. We're putting them in jail when we can, Chairman. And some of these programs are crafted in such a way that there's a procedure to follow. And I'm with you. $1 is too much. I don't think there's a lot of difference here if you want to help us get at this. The question is it a sledgehammer or is it a scalpel? I understand there's no political upside.
The hearing was part of a broader congressional investigation into alleged large-scale fraud in Minnesota's social service programs. Republican lawmakers on the committee have accused Walz and other state officials of failing to stop the misuse of federal funds. Committee Chairman James Comer said investigators were examining claims that billions of taxpayer dollars may have been lost due to inadequate oversight and delayed action by state authorities. One of the most prominent cases linked to the controversy involves the non-profit Feeding Our Future, which prosecutors say was part of a scheme that fraudulently obtained hundreds of millions of dollars from federal child nutrition programs during the COVID-19 pandemic. Dozens of individuals have been charged in connection with the case, making it one of the largest pandemic-related fraud investigations in the United States. Walz rejected accusations that his administration ignored warnings about fraud. He said the state had already prosecuted hundreds of cases and recovered millions of dollars linked to fraudulent activities. The governor added that Minnesota officials were committed to working with federal authorities to hold offenders accountable. However, Walz maintained that federal policies, including immigration enforcement operations and threats to withhold funding for programs such as Medicaid, were harming innocent residents and undermining efforts to address fraud effectively. The hearing highlighted deep partisan divisions, with Republicans pressing Walz over oversight failures, while Democrats argued that federal actions risk punishing vulnerable communities that rely on social welfare programs. The House Oversight Committee said its investigation into fraud in Minnesota's social service programs remains ongoing. Naomi Ewe reporting from Beetv News.
Award-winning Grammy-nominated singer Davido and his wife Chioma Adeleke are currently enjoying a romantic getaway in Honolulu. The couple has been sharing highlights of their vacation on social media, showing moments of relaxation on a luxury boat, exploring local culture and sampling Hawaiian cuisine. The reports. Fans have flooded their comment section with admiration and excitement, celebrating the couple's vacation and the loving moments they have shared online. The tropical escape has quickly become a talking point among fans who continue to praise the pair's relationship. The trip comes amid an ongoing legal dispute linked to Davido's child custody battle with Sophia Momodu. Her lawyers from Punuka attorneys and solicitors are demanding a public apology, retraction, and 1 billion naira in damages after Davido allegedly made defamatory statements about one of the firm's lawyers on social media following a heated court session. In another development, controversy has resurfaced between clergyman Chris Okafor and Nollywood actress Doris Ogala after the pastor withdrew a public apology he made in December 2025, that he apologized despite being innocent in order to protect spiritual leaders who supported him during the controversy. The dispute began when Ogala accused the pastor of breaking a promise to marry her, allegedly sharing explicit content and causing emotional distress. She claimed he had introduced her to family members and allowed her to participate in family gatherings before later marrying another woman. Ogala subsequently filed a lawsuit seeking 1 billion naira in damages. The suits also allege that Okafor shared private photos of her without consent and used 45 million naira she entrusted to him without permission. The case has continued to generate public attention due to the serious personal and financial claims involved. British author Rachel Joyce has expressed excitement as her best-selling novel, The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, takes on a new life as a stage musical in London's West End. The production is currently showing at Theatre Royal Haymarket. The story follows a man who walks across England to say goodbye to a dying friend while experiencing a personal journey of healing. Joyce described the experience of watching the musical for the first time as deeply moving, noting the powerful connection between the performance and the audience. Originally created as a radio play before becoming a novel, the story has evolved through several adaptations. It was first turned into a 2023 film starring Jim Broadbent, making the stage production the fourth major version of the emotional story. And that's it on the entertainment news. Evelyn is reporting for Beetv News. A total of 128 boxers, including 4 diaspora athletes, are competing at the Bra United Boxing Complex as Nigeria Open trials intensify ahead of the 2026 Commonwealth Games. And that is the size of our news package for tonight. Many thanks for joining us on Beetv Major News at 6. Please follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, YouTube. My name is Evelyn Isibili. Thank you and have a good night.